So today, we're tackling an absolute rite of passage for every single Python developer out there. You know that dreaded feeling, right? The whole, well, it works on my machine syndrome? Yeah, we're going to completely cure that today. We're putting an end to those nasty dependency conflicts once and for all. So let's dive right into the ultimate solution, mastering Python virtual environments. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with Section 1, the dependency hell problem, then move into Section 2, mastering Venv basics. After that, Section 3, Conda for data science. Section 4 will cover sharing and best practices, and we'll wrap up with Section 5, a Ven versus Conda comparison. All right, Section 1, the dependency hell problem. Time to escape the chaos. To really get this, we kind of have to take a step back from just writing code. Today's explainer is really all about escaping dependency chaos by learning how to manage the kitchen where your code actually lives. Because honestly, keeping your kitchen organized is just as absolutely crucial as the code you're cooking up inside it. Think about it. Installing Python libraries globally creates this vicious zero-sum game. Imagine you've got this global system environment. Project A is happily running on an older framework, say Django 2.2. But then you kick off Project B and decide to upgrade to Django 5.0 globally. Boom! Instantly, Project A is totally busted. Upgrading one project literally destroys the other because they're fighting over the exact same space. The fix here is to just stop using that chaotic global space entirely. Instead, every single project gets its own isolated box, or, a sealed kitchen. So Project A gets its own specific Django 2.2 box, and Project B gets its own Django 5.0 box. They operate completely independently on your system. They never touch, they never conflict. Peace at last. So let's nail down our foundational definition here. A virtual environment is an isolated box created for a specific project containing only the exact tools and library versions that project needs to run perfectly. We are simply creating contained, safe spaces for our code to live and breathe without any outside interference. Moving on to Section 2, Mastering Venv Basics. This is your standard go-to tool. Venv is the standard library's native solution. The best part, it comes built right into Python. That means zero extra installation on your part. It's lightweight, it's instant, and it is incredibly fast. For standard web development and just general software engineering, this is going to be your primary workhorse. Let's break this down into the two vital steps, creating and activating. First, you run a quick command to generate the environment folder itself. But actually scratch that. Creating it is only half the battle. You then have the absolute crucial step of activating it. There are some slight differences depending on your operating system here. Windows uses a scripts folder and an activate file, whereas macOS and Linux use a bin folder and the source command. Let's look at the exact commands. Step 1, you type python-m then myenv to create the box. Then step 2, you activate it. You run myenv /scripts/activate on Windows, or source myenv /bin/activate on Mac or Linux. By doing this, you are explicitly telling your computer, hey, I am now officially inside the isolated box. Once you're inside, you'll actually see the environment name pop up in parentheses right at the start of your terminal prompt. That's your visual confirmation that it worked. From here, you can install libraries, like the requests library, specifically into this isolated project. You can check your inventory anytime by typing piplist to see exactly what's inside, and then when you're completely done for the day, you safely exit the box and return to your global system just by typing deactivate. Simple as that. Okay, Section 3, Conda for data science. Enter the heavyweight champion. So, while Venv is built in, Conda requires you to install Anaconda or Miniconda. It is the absolute heavyweight champion and the undisputed industry standard for data science and AI. Why? Well, Conda has this incredible superpower. Unlike Venv, it doesn't just manage Python packages. It can install entirely different versions of Python itself. Plus, it expertly manages really complex non-Python dependencies like native C++ binaries that those heavy data science workflows are constantly demanding. The Conda lifecycle is pretty straightforward, and it actually mirrors the Venv process we just talked about, but it uses Conda's own powerful commands. You create the environment, you activate it to step inside, you install your packages, and a quick aside, you can actually still use pip inside a Conda environment, which is super handy. Finally, you can manage or cleanly tear down environments using commands like conda-env list or conda-env remove. I really want to emphasize this specific line of code from the creation step. Conda create --name vary proj python equals 3.10. This brilliantly shows how Conda lets you explicitly dictate the exact Python version your new environment is going to use right at the very moment of creation. If your project specifically needs Python 3.10, Conda just goes out, grabs it, and puts it right in the box for you. Section 4, Sharing and Best Practices. Let's talk about safe collaboration. When it's finally time to share your code with someone else, you need a way to tell them exactly what libraries your project needs. You do this by exporting a really lightweight list of dependencies. If you're using venv and pip, you just run pip freeze to generate a requirements.txt file. Or if you're over in Condaland, you export your setup to an environment.yaml file. And this brings us to a really powerful analogy that you should burn into your memory. Don't send the kitchen, send the recipe. Never ever send a massive 500 megabyte environment folder to a teammate or try to commit that beast to version control. No way. You just send the plain text file, the recipe, so they can instantly rebuild the exact same kitchen on their own machine. To make sure you actually enforce that rule, keep these critical disaster prevention tips in mind. First up, the clean workbench rule. Always, always add your environment folder name like VNV or MyNV directly to your .getignore file. This guarantees those thousands of files never accidentally enter your GitHub repository. Second, keep in mind that IDEs like VS Code or PyCharm, they won't magically know about your new box. You have to actively select your environment's specific interpreter in your IDE settings to prevent those incredibly frustrating module not found errors. All right, section 5, the big Venv versus Conda comparison. As you gear up for your next project, just remember that neither of these tools is inherently better than the other. Instead, each has a specific domain where it truly shines. Picking the right one is simply about understanding exactly what your specific project actually needs. Let's synthesize everything we've covered. For installation, Venv is built right in, while Conda requires you to download Anaconda or Miniconda. For speed and weight, Venv is super lightweight and fast. Conda is definitely heavier, but it's highly capable. When it comes to Python versions, Venv just uses your existing OS Python, whereas Conda can install and manage multiple, completely different versions. So your ultimate takeaway here is this. Use Venv for standard software engineering and web development, but go with Conda when you're dealing with complex data science and machine learning libraries, or whenever you need strict control over different Python versions. Okay, to make sure all this isolated box theory really sticks, we've pulled a small, concrete exercise right from our source material so you can put this into immediate practice on your own machine. Here are your final actionable steps for today. Step 1, create a new empty folder on your desktop and open your terminal right inside it. Step 2, create a virtual environment named test_nv and activate it. Make sure you look for that prefix in your prompt. Step 3, install the pandas library into your new isolated environment. And finally, step 4, run pip freeze to verify it installed correctly, and then cleanly deactivate the environment. Once you close that terminal, congratulations, you have successfully escaped dependency chaos. So my final provocative question for you is, what messy, chaotic project will you finally organize today now that you have the knowledge to build your own isolated kitchens? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy coding!